How much do database professionals actually make in 2026? And more importantly, which database role pays the most? I pulled real salary data from 5 of the biggest tech markets in the country. And some of these numbers might surprise you. Hi, I'm Christoph, and today I'm breaking down the top 3 highest paying database jobs, what they actually pay across different cities, and exactly what you need to land one of these roles. And here's the thing. Database careers are quietly having a moment right now, and most people aren't paying attention. 2 massive forces are driving this. First, every company and their dog is migrating to the cloud. Legacy systems that have been running on premises for a decade or more are being ripped out and rebuilt, and someone has to manage that transition. We're talking about billions of dollars in cloud migration spend happening right now across every industry. Second, AI is everywhere, and here's what most people don't realize. AI is only as good as the data it sits on. You can have the fanciest machine learning model in the world, but if your data is a mess, your AI is going to be a mess. That means companies need people who can design, manage, and optimize databases like never before. And if you're in IT right now wondering what to specialize in, or you're looking to break into tech and you want something with real staying power, databases should be on your radar. This isn't some trendy skill that's going to disappear in 2 years. Data is the foundation of everything, and the people who manage that foundation are going to be in demand for a very long time. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think database means one thing. They picture someone sitting in a dark room running SQL queries all day. The reality is that the database world has split into 3 very distinct career paths, and each one pays differently, requires different skills, and has a completely different trajectory. If you pick the wrong one for your situation, you could be leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table every single year. So let's get into it. I'm going to walk you through each of these 3 roles, show you exactly what they pay in 5 major cities, and tell you what separates someone earning entry-level money from someone pulling in over $200,000 a year. Bet number 1. The cloud database engineer. This is the role that's growing the fastest right now, and it also happens to be the highest paying of the 3. The cloud database engineer is the person companies call when they need to move their databases off of old on-premises servers and into cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, or Azure. Why does it pay so well? Simple. Supply and demand. Every company needs this done, and there aren't enough people who know how to do it properly. We're not just talking about lifting and shifting a database into the cloud. These engineers are expected to optimize cloud costs, set up disaster recovery across distributed environments, and manage services like Amazon RDS, Google Cloud SQL, and Snowflake. Now let me show you the numbers. In the Bay Area, cloud database engineers are averaging $198,000 a year. In Los Angeles, it's $185,000. Washington, D.C. comes in around $155,000. Denver sits at $150,000, and Boston is at about $148,000. And here's what's interesting. Los Angeles at $185,000 is actually number 2 on this list, beating out both D.C. and Boston. A lot of people don't think of L.A. as a database hub, but the entertainment and tech industries there are driving serious demand for cloud expertise. The common mistake I see people make with this role is thinking they need to know everything about every cloud platform. You don't. Pick one. Become an expert in Amazon Web Services or Azure and then branch out. Employers want depth over breadth, especially at this level. Get certified, build projects. If you can walk into an interview and say, I migrated a 500 gigabyte production database from on-prem Oracle to Amazon RDS with 0 downtime, you're going to stand out from 90% of candidates. And one more thing about this role, the remote work opportunities are incredible. Because cloud infrastructure is, well, in the cloud, a lot of these positions are fully remote. That means you could live in a lower cost of living area like Denver or even further out while earning close to Bay Area money. That's a massive quality of life advantage. And if you want the fastest path to a high salary in the database world, this is it. Cloud specialization is the biggest pay multiplier in this field right now. Number 2, the database administrator, or DBA. Now, the DBA is the role most people think of when they hear database career, and there's a good reason for that. It has the highest job volume of any database position. There are literally tens of thousands of open DBA positions across the country right now. The DBA is the backbone. You're the person keeping mission-critical systems running. If the database goes down, the business goes down. That's a lot of responsibility. And it's why this role consistently pays well, even though it's not as flashy as the cloud engineer title. Here's what the salary landscape looks like for DBAs. The Bay Area leads at $163,000. Boston is right behind at $160,000, which actually surprised me. Washington, D.C. pays around $149,700. Los Angeles comes in at $138,875, and Denver averages $136,500. Now, notice something here. Boston at $160,000 is almost tied with the Bay Area. And when you factor in cost of living, a DBA in Boston might actually have more purchasing power than one in San Francisco. That's something worth thinking about when you're evaluating job offers. I'll be real with you, the DBA role is evolving. It's increasingly becoming what's called database reliability engineering, or DBRE. This means applying DevOps principles to database management. Think automation, infrastructure as code, continuous integration for database changes. If you're a traditional DBA and you're not learning these skills, you're going to fall behind. The DBAs who embrace this shift are the ones commanding the top end of that salary range. And here's something I've seen firsthand from working in pharmaceutical and finance. The industry you work in matters a lot for DBA pay. I've worked across 5 different industries, from Wall Street tech suppliers to pharmaceutical companies, and I can tell you that finance and healthcare pay a premium for DBAs because of regulatory compliance. If your database has to meet HIPAA or SOX compliance requirements, that's specialized knowledge that bumps up your value significantly. Washington, D.C. is a great example of this. The constant demand for security-cleared database professionals makes it one of the most stable markets in the country, recession-proof even. Number 3, the data architect. This is the role that doesn't get enough attention, and honestly, it might be the smartest long-term play of the 3. The data architect is the person who designs the big picture. While the DBA manages systems and the cloud engineer migrates them, the data architect decides how the entire data ecosystem should be structured in the first place. You're the bridge between business requirements and technical implementation. You're deciding how data flows through the organization, how it's stored, how it's accessed, and how it supports AI and analytics. This is a highly strategic role, and that's exactly why it's in demand. Let's look at the numbers. The Bay Area pays data architects an average of about $169,000. Denver is actually number 2 here at $159,200, which is notable. Boston comes in around $156,000. Washington, D.C. is about $154,000, and Los Angeles averages $152,000. Here's what jumped out to me about these numbers. Denver at $159,200 for data architects is remarkable. When you adjust for the cost of living compared to the Bay Area or Boston, Denver might be the single best market for data architects in the country. You're earning close to Bay Area money with significantly lower housing costs. The mistake people make with data architect roles is trying to get there too early. This is typically a senior position. You need to understand databases from the ground up before you can design entire systems. Most data architects have 7+ years of experience and have spent time as either a DBA or a data engineer first. Don't skip the fundamentals. You can't design what you don't deeply understand. But here's why I call it the smartest long-term play. As companies invest more in AI and analytics, the people who design the data infrastructure become increasingly valuable. A good data architect can save a company millions by getting the architecture right from the start. Bad data architecture, that's the kind of technical debt that takes years and millions of dollars to fix. Companies know this, and they're willing to pay top dollar for someone who can get it right the first time. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about the money across experience levels, because the gap between entry level and senior is massive. If you're just starting out with 0 to 2 years of experience, you're looking at about $108,000 to $120,000 in the major markets. And honestly, that's a great starting salary for someone fresh in the field. At this stage, employers want strong SQL skills and experience with at least one major database platform like Oracle, SQL Server, or PostgreSQL. At the mid-level, 3 to 6 years, you're jumping to $130,000 to $155,000. The key word at this level is migration experience. If you've successfully moved workloads from on-premises to the cloud, that's your golden ticket. Employers are specifically seeking people who have done this, not just people who theoretically understand it. And at the senior level, 7+ years, this is where things really take off. Base salaries can exceed $180,000, and total compensation in the Bay Area or LA can push past $250,000 when you factor in equity and bonuses. At this level, you're expected to lead security strategy, handle compliance frameworks like GDPR and HIPAA, and perform complex performance tuning. Here's the big takeaway on experience levels. The difference between a $120,000 professional and a $250,000 professional isn't just time, it's specialization. The people at the top of these ranges have what the industry calls a T-shaped skill set. They have deep expertise in one area, like cloud database optimization or security compliance, combined with broad knowledge across cloud infrastructure, automation, and business strategy. That combination is what commands premium compensation. And one more thing I want to highlight, those salary numbers I showed you are base salaries. In markets like the Bay Area and Boston, total compensation packages often include equity and performance bonuses that add another 15 to 30% on top. So when I say a senior cloud database engineer in San Francisco makes $198,000, the real number with total comp could be closer to $230,000 or even $250,000. Now, I know some of you watching might be thinking, okay, Christoph, but I'm not in the Bay Area and I'm not senior level yet. Is this still worth pursuing? And the answer is absolutely yes. Look, I started in IT resetting passwords on a help desk. I've worked for 11 different companies across 5 industries, from Wall Street to pharmaceutical, and every single one of those companies needed database expertise. The demand is everywhere, not just in these top 5 markets. These are just the cities with the most data available. If you're in Dallas or Atlanta or Phoenix, or honestly even a mid-sized city, there are database roles waiting to be filled. Start building the skills now and the opportunities will follow. All right, let's recap what we covered, because there was a lot of data in this video and I want to make sure you walk away with the key takeaways. The number 1 highest paying database role right now is the cloud database engineer, averaging up to $198,000 in the Bay Area. If you want the fastest path to top dollar, learn cloud platforms deeply. Pick AWS or Azure, get certified, and build real migration experience. Number 2, the DBA remains the most in-demand role by sheer volume, and it's evolving into database reliability engineering. If you're in this role, start learning DevOps principles now. Automation and infrastructure as code are no longer optional. Number 3, the data architect is the smartest long-term strategic play, with Denver offering the best salary to cost of living ratio in the country. This is the role to aim for if you're building a 10-year career plan. Your experience level matters, but specialization matters more. A mid-level cloud specialist can out-earn a generalist senior DBA. Build that T-shaped skill set. And finally, don't sleep on location strategy. The Bay Area pays the most in raw dollars, but markets like Denver and DC can give you more purchasing power and more job stability. Think about what matters most to you, not just the biggest number on paper. The bottom line is this: database careers are thriving in 2026, and whether you're just getting started or looking to level up, the path to higher pay is clear. Pick a specialization, build deep expertise, and be intentional about where you work. I hope this video helped you. If you liked the video, please hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.